mom, I'm an attorney, and I'm a director of a nonprofit organization. I'm also the president of Sling County Republican Women. Some people ask me how I do it all, and I admit that at times I feel very overwhelmed and self-doubt begins to creep in. And that's usually when God will give me a sign that I'm doing okay. And He gave me one such sign when my youngest, who's at the back, she was 3, we were having a sweet time. I was reading her story, and we came across the word snob. And she said, "Mommy, what's a snob?" And I said, "Well, it's someone who thinks they're better than others." And without missing a beat, she said, "No, Mommy, that's a Democrat." So I thought, I'm probably doing okay. But even at 3 years old, she understood that the Democrats are the party of control. We're the party of freedom. And, there are a lot of definitions for freedom, but one of my favorite is George Orwell's. When he said, freedom is the right to say no. And there's something happily rebellious about that blunt and unadorned statement. And as her 2nd District Chair, I plan on using our platform to say no to a lot of things, like the woke agenda, like invasion into our electoral or our election system. We're going to start saying no to a lot. But we're also going to start, I would like to see us pass resolutions so that the state knows where we stand, where our principles stand. I'm personally I'm for closing the primaries. I would like to see high security ballots with a good audit trail. And I'll also tell you a little bit about some of the cases that my husband and I work on. We filed a lawsuit here in Arkansas asking a court to determine that the voting machines violate Arkansas law. So we are very much in favor. We're for election integrity. We sued Hunter Biden for child support, and we are currently investigating that. He recently filed a motion asking the court to reduce his child support because he's just not making the money that he did before. So sad. But we're asking him all about his art right now. We represented Trump in the 2020 election recount in Wisconsin. My husband and I both went up there, and we were on the floor. And there were about 65 attorneys, and we were 6 who were asked to join his litigation team. And so we then helped pursue that all the way up to the U.S. Supreme Court. We also represent 6 pro-life rescuers. These are individuals who travel around the country praying outside abortion clinics. And yes, they are often charged. These 6 were charged here in Arkansas for trespass while praying outside of one of the abortion clinics. While awaiting their trial here, Joe Biden weaponized the DOJ. They were indicted under the FACE Act. And so we are currently representing them in those cases. But something that stands out to me about these people, I think should be an inspiration to all of us, is how they consistently look to God and praise God through it all. They never get down. They choose joy in all things. And right now I'm thinking of the verse in Joshua where it says, "Be bold and courageous. Do not be afraid. Do not be discouraged, because the Lord your God will go with you wherever you go." And these people live that, and they embody it. One of them is a concentration camp survivor. And she said one of the reasons why she travels around praying outside the abortion clinics is because when she was on a cattle car being taken away with her grandma to a concentration camp, she looked out the slabs and she saw people standing outside. Those people looked inside and they knew where those people were going, and they did nothing. And she wondered, why were they not doing something? Why were they not standing in the way, getting together, doing something? And she promised that if she ever escaped, she would stand in the way of evil and stand up for the innocent. And that's what she does now. And that's what I would like to see the 2nd District do. I want us to be a bold force for what is good and what is right in this country. And I want to remind you that, there's a lot of back and forth, but we don't wage against flesh and blood. Ephesians tells us that we wage against the evil principalities and spirits and authorities of this earth. That is who our battle is with. And it was Alexis de Tocqueville who observed that, and if you've read his book, it's like this. But he said that it wasn't until he went to the American churches and saw the pulpits aflame with righteousness, only then did he understand the greatness and the genius of America. So if we want to get back to real freedom, which is only found in Jesus, we have got to put him front and center, and we have to boldly talk about our Christian principles. Because this country was founded on Christian principles. It was the Great Awakening, a revival that actually inspired the Revolution, believe it or not. It was the preachers that were talking about how our rights come from God. You've attended my Constitution camp, you know that, John Locke, natural rights. Our rights don't come from the generosity of the government. They come from the hand of God. We have to remember that. And I just want to leave you with this last thought. It was John Adams who said that our Constitution was made for a moral and a religious people. It is wholly inadequate for any other. So we need to be praying that that revival that's taking place in Asbury, Tennessee, spreads throughout the country. Because that's when we're going to start seeing real freedom and real change. We can elect great people, but it's we, the people, that need to be driving the country. And we can do it, and I hope that we can just join arm in arm and start standing up for what's right. Thank you for this opportunity, and I would appreciate your support.